Everyone. Happy Friday the 13th. Welcome. Big news day today. Let me see. I know we're having trouble streaming over there on X. I'm going to see if it works here. I know it's not saving it. There's some issue on X. Let's see. It seems like it's working. Gosh, that's my biggest audience, so I hope it works. I'm going to try and do a little test on the chat. Seems to be working. It just doesn't. It seems to start lagging and not saving. So I'm hoping that this works. Let me look at my chat over here. Yeah, it looks like it's working. So hopefully everyone there can see me, and it'll actually kind of last. So GM everybody. Let me take a quick peek at. Yep, looks like we're working on YouTube over there live at Crypto Bull Ron. Give me a follow. Been doing live shows on X for 4 years now. Do a morning GM Bitcoin morning show right after this at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. Got co-hosts and a bunch of people join. Feel free to jump. That is of course a space. Whereas this one here is we can show slides and stuff. It's live. So welcome everyone. Feel free to say GM or say hello in the chat or ask any questions, drop any comments you may have. Earliest breaking day, the earliest I've ever got started. I'm going to try and start in an ideal world. I'd actually love to start at, I'd love to get started at, 9 a.m. But anyway, we'll go to the opening bell. We have now plenty of time before the opening bell. The big news of the day, of course, is the core, inflation numbers, the CPI. It falls to 2.4%. I think it was 2.5 expected. So basically what that means is, and if we look at Trueflation or some other other sources, it's way below that. So anyway, that's huge news. In theory, it shows inflation coming down. Once again, the Fed has a dual mandate. What they're trying to do is they're trying to keep inflation down and keep employment up. So in theory, this could be a reason for them to raise inflation. I kind of doubt that Powell, I kind of really doubt they're going to do anything. But anyway, big news on a Friday, even if it is Friday the 13th. Let's take a look at how some of the numbers are looking. We were looking like we were going to open in the negative, but after the news, everything seemed to have turned green. The NASDAQ up. We got 20 minutes before the opening, but up a little bit. Let's take a look at the Dow. Welcome everyone that's watching live or later. Feel free to comment if you want to join the conversation. If you are live, or give me a follow, especially on since I'm newer over there. I'm soon going to be live streaming on TikTok as well, so look forward to that. Same thing. I mean, these are kind of flat numbers, but I mean they were pretty massively in the red. Not massively, but up to a half point. Look at the S&P. Dow Jones, maybe you can get back over that 50,000 that it hit for the first time historically 1 week ago today. So S&P 6,857. About even, but let's see what happens as the show progresses. We'll talk about some news and stuff like that. If you're just joining us, obviously the CPI news coming in at 2.4, core inflation better than expected. I mean, certainly in a world that makes sense, the Fed should be cutting rates. We're way behind. As usual, Fed's always late. But anyway, hopefully this works over there. See a bunch of people joining us over there on X. It's been weird the last 2 days it hasn't saved and it's been lagging, though it looks like it's getting a little better. So I will post. Hopefully it'll save and all will be good. If for any reason we still have a glitch till they get that fixed, I will post the YouTube video 2X so you can follow there. I thought this was kind of funny. In wanting Trump to pay for quote, pay for what they broke in Minnesota after leftist riots tore through his state. Pay for what they broke. That's funny. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Trump going to pay our guy Tim? I don't think so. So kind of funny. Drinking my pro-arginine, L-arginine, L-citrulline drink here in the morning. Stay hydrated. Yeah, pretty darn funny. I wouldn't hold my breath. I made this little grok video to post on TikTok and whatnot. This is what I think of it. Yeah, a guy is smoking if he thinks Trump is going to pay for anything. Yeah, and here's the deal. I mean, obviously it's a bad optic, with the riots and stuff, and they were really, really getting out of hand. A few people actually died. So what they've done is, they've worked something out. The Democrats can claim a win that they're drawn down, but the reality is they started doing what they should have done in the first place. They just started cooperating. I mean, over like 3,600 missing kids, were found in those raids. The last administration, Joe Biden, they famously lost like 300,000 undocumented kids registered, and they never found them again. So some of those were, a lot of those sex trafficked, maybe child labor. So, I mean, it's crazy that we talk about slavery and all this stuff, and we have this kind of a situation going on and people ignoring it. But anyway, that's some humor, political humor for the day. Man, like I say, big news day today. It feels good to see all this news. One big thing that I think could be really positive, and I haven't heard any news as to why, but the government odds of a shutdown yesterday on Polymarket were 95% chance, and they just dropped. And then it's tomorrow, right? It just dropped sharply. See that drop on Polymarkets to 25%. And this is why I love Polymarkets. I love Polymarket. Excuse me. I love Polymarkets. Sorry, a little early for me, and I've been up for hours and haven't been talking much. The reason I love the Polymarkets is because of the fact that people are betting real money, smart money, and pretty good prediction for us. Sometimes if there's insiders that know, it's fairly accurate. So to see it go 95% yesterday to 25% today, that makes me think that some people know, some inside, maybe in politics or inside of the different parties, know that there's something brewing. So very, very interesting turn of events. Let's take a quick look at crypto, though, before the bell. We have 15 minutes now before the bell. Make sure this is okay. So we got Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading at 67,177. Now from yesterday, that's down 1.1%. Still doesn't look like it's working that great over on X. I hope they get it fixed up, because that's where my biggest audience are. But I do see a few people over there. So welcome. Hopefully you can hear this. Like I said, if for some reason it doesn't change, it doesn't save it again, I will save the YouTube link over there, though it seems to me like it's much better than it has been. But yeah, just taking a look here at Bitcoin. Look, we're down 1.1% for the day, up 0.3 for the hour. No doubt on that news when the futures turn positive. So yeah, not ideal, but not horrible, especially on a Friday. I'll take it. Ethereum still lagging down, but be below 1900, down 0.8 for the day, up 0.3 so far. Once again, 15 minutes before the U.S. stock market's open. I'll tell you what, though, we're all the way down to 1900. That's crazy. Crazy, went down to 1900. Now we're at 1965. Let's see what happens when the market opens. XRP got some good news today. Brad Garlinghouse appointed that CFTC committee chair that's going to work on some of the stuff. So that's a big thing, big news, a very big news, I think, for XRP and the XRP community. But 136.90, down 1.6 for the day. 0.3 for the hour. So pretty much holding, fairly steady, I would say. Is what it is. I would say not too bad. GMGM, if you're just joining us. Let's see here. Yeah, I see quite a few people over there on YouTube as well following us. So good. New to YouTube, give me a follow, make a comment. To software that I should see all the comments. If anyone has any comments on anything we're talking about, wants to share anything as we go here. Yeah, so anyway, I think this is big. Hopefully we do. It could be a bit of a shock. I anticipate we'll hear some news on it. Always be careful, kids. Look, I've been in Bitcoin for 15 years. I've been full-time since full-time since early 2017, late 16. So I've seen a lot of stuff here. But one thing I can tell you for sure, we have low volume on the weekends. You need to be careful of that. Don't trust the pumps. Don't trust the dumps. Don't get shaken out on a weekend. Very easily for people to manipulate that market. I thought this was some good news for Tom Lee, who's down about 8-10 plus billion on his BMNR, the largest holder of Ethereum. Now they are staking it and they are making money on there. So that's a good thing. I think will keep him. And I think much like Saylor, he's very smart. Longtime OG in Wall Street. He's no dummy for sure. I mean, I still worry at, he's down so far, but I think he'll come back and could be in the billions of dollars. If we get a $5,000, $10,000 Ethereum on the next bull run, whenever that happens, I think he'll be up billions and billions. And I think they're making about $1 million a day on staking. So that should fend off some of the, what happens ultimately is just that the shares get sold off. But BlackRock took a much bigger stake, 9,049,912 shares of BMNR. That's up 165%. So BlackRock, the biggest. My wife brought me some ginger tea here, so have a little of that, so I won't be coughing so much here. Getting over a cold I've had for about 10, 12 days now. Feeling much better. But anyway, I think that's bullish. I think that's bullish for Ethereum and bullish for BMNR. So I like it. I like Ethereum. I like Ethereum and Solana as the two main L1s. Probably a third, I'd put Binance Chain on there. And then, then we have some L2s and some other up-and-comers. But right now, when you talk network effect, when you're looking at investments, network effect is important. Whoever gets those eyeballs first. Once you have that network effect, a competitor literally has to be 10 times better to knock you off of your spot. Now, I think Ethereum had a chance to be the big dog and dominant. But they kind of slacked a little bit, and they were too slow and too expensive. They are making progress now, but there's also, they also are more decentralized and more secure than Solana. So right now, to me, if you're going to tokenize some stock, if you're going to tokenize real world assets, if you're bringing a D app, to me, it's going to be, between those two. So anyway, big news. I think that's positive. I guess I worry a little bit about our guy there. What did Solana? We didn't check Solana price. What's Solana? Solana making a little more beaten than some of the rest. Okay, Solana, solid $80.28, still down 1.2.3 on the hour, which is pretty much to be expected. We'll see what happens when the market opens. That's why we're here talking. But like I say, big news day. Very big news day. Good positive. I've been doing a live show on X for 4 years now. We used to take one piece of news and talk about it for a day or two. Now we have so much news. I'm not even going to cover all the news, but bottom line is we have all these tailwinds that make it the best time, in my opinion, ever to be in Bitcoin. Now we have a blessing. That blessing is lower pricing. So I'm very, very bullish. I'm very, very bullish, and I'm buying. So I don't know what you're doing, and that doesn't mean we're at the bottom. We showed our guy Merlin the Trader yesterday, had his Fibonacci's, showed, we've got high 58 or so, which is also happens to be the 200-week moving average. And then he kind of had like a 48 for his next fib level. And if we lose that, it goes down. The important level for the Fibonacci was at 74. We haven't really made an attempt. Hey, GM Satoshi, market looks like Jason Voorhees to slash it up. Look, I made a little Jason Voorhees video here. I'll show it to you guys. Oh, that's not it. Where are we at? Here we are. I made this on Grok for TikTok, and I posted it everywhere. Jason, man, I'll tell you what, those terrifying movies for us back in the day when we were kids, man. We used to like to take the girls to the scary movies. But anyway, can you believe that franchise still relevant however many years later we are, right? But anyway, yeah. Jason Voorhees slashing it up. So GM Satoshi Nakamoto coming from X. Hopefully X is working okay over there. We have been having problems. It seems like it's pretty good. It seems like it's much better. 2 days ago was horrible. And then yesterday it was lagging so bad. It was lagging so bad that it didn't save either day. So I am posting the live stream over there. But it looks like it's tracking a little better. Hopefully it'll save, man. That's by far my biggest audience. So shout out to the X fam over there. All you Degen bastards over there. Much of my trauma is due to those films, Satoshi Nakamoto. Absolutely. I remember my mom was terrified by Psycho. If you remember Psycho, the movie, old movie, like, I don't know what, in the 50s or 60s or whatever, probably the 50s, where it was the famous director, Alfred Hitchcock, right? He just knew how to freak people out. And you had some kid had his mom mummified up in the hotel, and he'd kill girls, stab them in the shower. And just the way they had to go to the eye, her like dead eye in the water, it was just terrifying. You never saw him stab anyone, but you imagined he did. So I remember the older generation, my parents and stuff, were freaked out by that. And myself, of course, Jaws, Friday the 13th, and a lot of people here a lot younger than that. But yeah, funny how those stick with you. I mean, it was so crazy that people wouldn't go in a swimming pool, more or less the ocean. Jaws was so terrifying. How it like ripped the girl down at the beginning. That was just those new techniques, and they try new things, is just crazy. And look, I grew up in the ocean. I swim with sharks, feed sharks all the time. So I've only ever seen one great white shark, and it's kind of terrifying. So it's huge, and I wasn't in a cage, but the girth on those things is just next level. I mean, I've scuba dived with tiger sharks, lemon sharks, pretty big sharks, but man, a great white is just next level. How freaking huge their heads are. Not good today when you see them. It's just you tend to suck up oxygen faster than you should. But anyway, 5 minutes before the market open, tokenized gold on. Listen, on my show on X, I've had RWA, real world assets, basically the tokenization of things. I feel like is a big niche. By the way, as I watch my Twitter screen, X screen, it looks like it's holding pretty good. So I really hope they fix that up, because once again, man, usually we have a few hundred people over there, and it's been tough, and people haven't been able to watch the replay. So I hope that works. That's my main reason I started doing these shows. So hopefully they get that figured out. But yeah, tokenized gold market has crossed 6 billion, up more than 2 billion since the start of the year. We're February 13th. February 13th. Sorry, I got my Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day mixed up. That's not a good thing at all. But yeah, don't be dating any crazy women or men out there. Be careful when Friday the 13th so close to Valentine's Day. That's got to be ominous. Okay, Satoshi, X feed vetter today. Thankfully, awesome, man. I hope it holds up and works, because like I said, that's where our biggest audience is. And that's the whole reason I started doing this. So I could just come a little earlier, show some charts, reach out to some other people that aren't able to catch the spaces. Anyway, tokenized gold up 2 billion this year in basically, what's that? 35 days, 45 days. So that's good. A big trend. Real world assets are the future. Me personally, we've got the XAUT. That's probably the big one. That's Tether. But big, do not fade RWA. Look for these niches that'll make you money. And RWA is definitely one of them. And we're seeing it right here in gold stocks. Trump's talked about doing some of that. So yeah, with their buildings and real estate, that's a good way to fundraise and stuff. So good stuff, good stuff there. I thought this was huge. Brazil, probably the biggest, I would say the biggest. My co-host, Enzo305, our buddy there from Tampa, has been co-host with me there for years and years. His family's originally from Brazil. He lives, of course, in Tampa now, but big economy down there. They've been pretty pro crypto all in all, but now from our good friends at Crypto News Hunters, Brazil reintroduces bill to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve, allowing the country to acquire up to 1 million Bitcoin. I think one country is going to be able to do that, right? Whoever is the first one to start printing money and buying Bitcoin is going to be the huge winner. We've already seen what it did for the little country of Bhutan. We talked about that yesterday, right? Little teeny country run entirely by Buddhist monks. Happiest place on earth, they say, up there in the Himalayas. It's changed everything. Their Bitcoin exceeds their GDP for the year. They just built a new airport. They're doing stuff. They're mining it with all their hydroelectric, because there's so many mountains. There's all these rivers. So they're using hydroelectric power. So the first country that does it, I would hope it would be USA. I would hope Trump jumps on the bandwagon here ASAP and does that. That's what I want to see. The USA could realistically stack 1 million, but hey, eventually, listen, here's the thesis. Eventually, every country holds Bitcoin. Every state in America holds Bitcoin. Every company owns some Bitcoin. Every fund, retirement account, sovereign wealth fund, all own Bitcoin. We're a long ways from that. So you have to be bullish, and this is a gift that we have a chance to buy this low. So do not fade that. That's why I'm so bullish. My only fear, I'm not fear of what Bitcoin's going to do. I'll just dollar cost average or hold it. I've held through many dumps, like I say, since 15 years here, 10 years full time. I've seen it all. I panicked once, and we sold Bitcoin under $200. Won't ever do that again. And one other time, early 2007, mid 2000, maybe it was late 2017, I panicked and sold ETH, about $600. And then the next day it was like doubled. So I'll never do that again. Now I just said, okay, why did I even panic again? And why did I do that? Yes. Satoshi Nakamoto, Bhutan, definitely happier than the Netherlands. We're going to talk about that. And that's, some sad news coming out of the Netherlands. And it's just sad because we have a lot of Bitcoin friends over there. Lot of Bitcoin. I had some really good friends of the show, really good OG friends that I've known for 4 or 5 years from the Netherlands. They're doing some stupid stuff. So we'll definitely got that coming up. Bank of America says many banks are preparing for crypto integration. Banks are joining. Once again, every bank will be doing it. Every bank. Look, what we have is banks becoming crypto friendly and crypto exchanges. And at the same time, we have a lot of crypto exchanges becoming banks. So we're seeing kind of a merging of the two, right? Kind of a new world order, so to speak. But Bank of America came out about a month ago and said everyone ought to own 4%. Everyone ought to own 4% in Bitcoin in their portfolio. And eventually, I think we see that number. I think the Hoff said his clients are between 15 and 20, manages a bunch of money. People that are open to the idea, awake, and understand what Bitcoin is. Most people still don't. Most people just still see it as a risk-on asset to trade. They don't understand that it's truly a uncorrelated store of value, a hedge against inflation, a hedge against debasement, all these things, right? And potentially a currency if some people have their way, especially Jack Dorsey, want to see it as an actual currency. But yeah, let's go. Let's go take a look here. Market open for about 2 minutes. Let's see where we're at. Man, I like this starting early. I can just chill with no pressure. Love it. And I do see some more people joining on X about their stuff. Doesn't seem like it's really delayed too much. Okay, so we now have S&P open slightly to the red, 6,847, down 0.06%. I call that flat, to be honest with you. And when there's a disparity between the different indices here, like between the S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ, sometimes it has nothing more to do than different news or different companies. Dow Jones take a little more of a hit, 4.3, quite away, 50,000 away until yesterday. See what the NASDAQ's doing. Gold, by the way, up. Gold is up over $5,023, up 1.5%. So, hard assets, right? Gold, silver, and if you understand it, LA, my brother, GM, man, coming from X. Good to see you here. Longtime friend, hard-working entrepreneur out there, man. Great guy, and appreciate long-time friend on the space. See him here. So, yeah, I'm glad. I don't know if you noticed, FLA, if you've been here in the mornings, but the software I use is saying that X has some problems live streaming. I'm not live streaming directly on X, so I can do it on Rumble, YouTube, and very soon on TikTok. I'm using a third-party software called Restream. It also puts all the chats on one place so I can see them and whatnot. But, yeah, it's been having trouble. I've been having trouble falling, but it looks like it's tracking pretty good. I think we're going to be okay today. Cross our fingers, knock on wood. So we're doing okay. But anyway, the NASDAQ down a little, 0.17. Let's see how crypto's taking this. And this is I Am Crypto Bull Ron. I've been here for 15 years, full-time for 10, been doing live spaces on X for 4 years, and just starting to do, or not live spaces. Yeah, now we're doing these live streams, trying to reach a little different audience, also be able to show you a few things. So, okay, Bitcoin, let's see. We're still stuck on Sol. Bitcoin, 67,409, flat for the hour. So if we pull up the hour chart, you can see it has spiked a little bit. It was up a little bit, I thought. Go back to the daily chart. Look, I'll take it. I'll take it for Friday the 13th. Not to get too superstitious or anything, but I will definitely take it. If we hold flat through the day, good. Hopefully we don't dump at 10 o'clock like we have been doing. USA waking up and cheating. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But anyway, I'll take it. I'll take it for I'll take it for a Friday. Fridays are typically, there is that CPI report, which, by the way, came in better than expected for those of you that just joined in the show. CPI was down 0.1 point. So I think that's a good thing. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum's responding a little better. 1987. Up 0.2 for the day and 0.2 for the hour. So it's turned positive. Look at that, man. We got all the way down to 1900, man. Unbelievable. XRP. Man, I'm over on TikTok. People love XRP. They love it. With me, it's probably a couple of runs, literally multiple hundred X's that maybe I'm just like, hey, I made my money and I'm a little more cautious. But anyway, doing good things. Some news about Brad Garlinghouse coming up here. I'll take it. I'll take it, XRP. $1.38.7. I'll take it. BNB down 2% for the day. Look, got all the way down to 592. Man, chart not looking great, but it is what it is. Zero flat for the hour. And Solana, my favorite. Well, I guess I should say I love Ethereum too. I'm more heavily weighted in Solana right now than I am Ethereum, but I love them both. I used to be a ETH maxi, to be honest with you. When it came to L1s, I just feel like they opened the door a little, let Solana get in here a little bit. But anyway, yeah, 81.33 up flat for the day and up 1% for the hour. So I'll take that. We'll check back. We're now officially 7 minutes after the opening. The traditional market pretty flat, a little bit down, up, down, but pretty flat so far. Let's see where we're at. Talking news. Big news day. Brazil, of course, new bill to create a Bitcoin reserve up to 1 million Bitcoin. Man, I'd love to see him do it. It'd be great for him. Now let's say a big news day today for a Friday, man. And here's, if you look at the chat there in X, Satoshi Nakamoto said Bhutan definitely happier than the Netherlands. Wow, this is just so sad and so tragic, especially since we have friends, and quite frankly, so stupid. The Dutch House of Representatives passed the 30% tax on unrealized gains. How do you do that? I mean, it's just absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The dumbest damn thing I've ever heard. I think I've got next coming up, I'm talking about California. They lost over $1 trillion. Bezos fled. 2 or 3 other billionaires, like 3 or 4 billionaires fled within a few weeks of them announcing that wealth tax. Because how does that work? Just because you have assets doesn't mean they're liquid, right? And taking them is stupid, because what if those go down, right? Just absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. I don't know what else to say. Literally the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard. Oh, but they're not the only stupid ones. Thank you, Gavin Newsom, and your repertoire of clowns running that state, which is I was just there. I love it. I'm telling you, if you haven't been to America, California has it all. Beach without a lot of humidities, mountains, desert, giant redwood trees. I mean, it is absolutely, I think, the coolest state there is. I was born there, raised there. And I was just there for a week. I love it. It's so beautiful weather, not too hot, and here they are, just in from our guys over at California proposed wealth taxes cost the state an estimated $1 trillion in lost investment and business as billionaires flee. Let's not who they already lost. Joe Rogan now in Austin, Texas. We forget. Tesla was there. I mean, unbelievable. Anyone can be that stupid and think this is going to work. Unbelievable. Satoshi Nakamoto, Simon Dixon made a great post about the Netherlands nonsense yesterday. Worth reading. It's all by design. Yeah, let me pull up Simon Dixon. Good dude. Simon Dixon, man, I really gained a lot of respect for him through the whole Celsius crash. Huge investor, lost billions, but he was really calling it out and really did a lot to help all of us get, our 25 cents on the dollar, whatever it was. So he did an awesome job at that. Appreciate him. I don't agree with everything Simon Dixon says, but he's an OG, man. He's an OG. Bank to the Future is his main project, but he's an early investor in almost everything. So definitely someone you want to, definitely someone, a lot of Simons here. Oh, the heck. My microphone's in the way from typing normally. There we go. Simon Dixon Twit. Give this guy a follow. Yeah, he's worth it. Like I said, he's a little bit, some of his takes I don't take. But when it comes, some of his political takes I'm not down with, maybe. But with his crypto stuff, he's very well. So this is him, Simon Dixon Twit. 246,000 followers. See if we can see that. He posts a lot, but anyway, Like I say, he's not a huge Trump lover, hates Israel. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to look for it. But anyway, just yeah, if Satoshi Nakamoto's saying it's worth it, it is. So go take a look at that. Give that man a follow. Yeah, just absolute utter stupidity. But like I say, big news day today. A lot of positive stuff happening. Government shutdown all of a sudden went yesterday. Literally, we reported 95% chance went down to like 20-25%. Can't always take that to the bank, but that's bullish to me. Big deal here. Part of what I put in the thumbnail. Maybe I'm a little partial because I did live in Taiwan for about 7 years. Went to college there. I fought on their kickboxing team all around the world for a couple of years. So a lot of good friends. Some of my best friends still live in Taiwan. In fact, I'm getting ready to take a trip over there, hopefully this year. But anyway, the U.S. and Taiwan have reached a historic agreement. Taiwan to invest $250 billion to produce and to build and produce chips in America. Of course, Taiwan Semiconductor, one of the biggest publicly traded chip manufacturers out there. $250 billion in credit guarantees from Taiwan to support the full U.S. semiconductor supply chain. Reciprocal U.S. tariffs on Taiwanese goods capped at 15%. President Trump's America First trade agenda delivers again. Big deal, man. Big deal. Taiwan, a little island. It's only like, don't quote me on this, it's only like, I'd say, like 190 to less than 200 miles, around 200 miles long. And not even that, like about half that wide. You can fit like 5, 6, 7 of them into Colorado, and yet an absolute powerhouse. And they're all capitalists, man. Pure unadulterated capitalists over there, the Chinese in Taiwan. They are Chinese. They left in like 66 or whatever on 10/10, actually. 10/10's kind of, that's their double 10 day. That's like their 4th of July. Swang Shijie. That's the big firework day and everything for them. To us, 10/10 represents the worst day in history of crypto. But anyway, big damn deal. Love to see it. Like I say, man, I'm getting inundated with XRP stuff over on TikTok, but this is big. Brad Garlinghouse just landed on the CFTC's Innovation Committee. The Ripple guy, the same dude who's been shaking up crypto and pissing off regulators, now gets a front row seat at the table, deciding the rules, talk about flipping a script. Cool, man. So shout out to the XRP lovers out there. There's a lot of them. Also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Solana and Uniswap are on that as well. But anyway, let's not sure of that, but it's a good thing. The CFTC, they, who really controls CFTC is the commodities. They control commodities, and the SEC is really just if it's a security. And some are both, some aren't, but commodities probably better. I will say myself, having been the CEO of a publicly traded company, also, with my involvement with CoinZoom, a fully regulated U.S. exchange, soon to be getting listed on some outside exchanges outside of our own app, which I've talked to you about, the Zoom coin. I'll probably talk about more of that next week. But we much prefer working with the commodities, the CFTC, than as opposed to the SEC, though both are great right now. Both of them stacked with true believers. So love it. We're going to go through the news, and then we'll check back. We'll end off with the market look. Now, this is something I'm seeing everywhere. I'm seeing on Glassnode. Whales are stacking. Whales are stacking. Remember they were selling last fall? We don't know why. Were they wanting to get into AI? Did they believe in the 4-year cycle? Did they just say, damn, I've been sitting here. I'm up from, 10,000 to $1 billion. Let's take some profits. Let's live life. We don't know exactly, but the whales were selling and that sucked. Now they're buying. They're net buyers now. So, and a lot of the whales and companies and stuff, bottom line is this: smart money's buying, dumb money's panic selling, and new money. And if you're new out there, this is nothing on you. We've all done it. Any of us here that are talking tough and I got no feelings, I feel nothing, that's only because we've screwed up so many times, right? We've seen it. We've panic sold only to buy back later and see it go back up every single time. So we're not like smarter. We're not like, you have to overcome your emotions, your FOMO. You have to do opposite of what your head and mind and heart is telling you if you're going to be successful in this space. So those of us that are here, we've just been here longer. We've just been through it. So we're less emotional about it. And we've seen it over and over and over again. So if you're new, don't let these whales, don't let these institutions scare you out of your Bitcoin. The markets, that's the traditional markets, and especially the crypto markets. They're made to inflict maximum pain. Max pain. Okay? So you have to learn to counterplay that, right? You can't be panicking. You can't be freaking out. They will take your money and leave you laying at the side and laugh about it. Okay? These markets, you've got to overcome that yourself. I thought this was big, obviously California making some of the California and the Netherlands, two of the dumbest states, but at least who's ever running their pension fund is got a little bit of smarts. They just bought $60 million worth of micro strategies. Now, let me tell you, why don't they just buy spot, right? I'll tell you why, because they can't. They've got rules, and they've got people within the funds that are, risk managers. They've got lawyers. They've got rules they have to follow, right? And so they have to buy something like a micro strategy. Back in the day, the Galaxy before, they were able to buy that Galaxy. It wasn't really an ETF, whatever it was, the Galaxy Trust. And man, I'll tell you, there was an opportunity there, huge opportunity there to buy it like a 30, 40, 50% discount at one point. I told a lot of people about it. As far as I know, none of them took me up on it. But anyway, suffice it to say, these big public trusts, these pension funds, they've got to follow rules. So they're going to buy like a micro strategy or an IBIT or something like that. They're not going to buy and hold spot custody. They're never going to do that. Okay. But shout out to California making good, at least. And these are massive funds and they're already bankrupt. They're all out of money anyway, for the most part. Right. So this is really smart. This could really save their people. I was super excited to see this. You worry about people retired and then they're running out of money, because they're getting stolen and printed. Just what happened in Venezuela. Tragic down there. Tragic. People would work their whole life and had a pension. Professors, doctors, lawyers, teachers, the best of the best, digging in the garbage can because their corrupt president was printing money. It's just sad, sad, sad. I've got a very good friend who's a brain surgeon down there, walks to work, had no furniture, makes like $60 a month. Or maybe it was $200 a month. It was ridiculous. And it doesn't matter, because whatever you make, by the time you cash your check, it's cut in half, man. Wake up. You hear it said, and it's so true. Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. They will never print money until it absolutely explodes. I saw it firsthand in Zimbabwe. First time I went to Zimbabwe, 4-1. $4 for one Zimbabwe dollar. The last time I went there, second to last time I went there, they had $50 billion notes. The last time I went there, and now they don't even have their own money. I mean, don't forget the basics of what makes Bitcoin great. Van Eck, recent jumped onto Bitcoin. Fake kind of blocked them forever, but this year they're full port in Bitcoin, letting their people sell it and whatnot. Van Eck says 13 governments actively mining Bitcoins. I don't always play these clips because the software I use, I have to use a window with everything, or I have to use individual tabs. So it's a little bit. When I start to have more time and start to start earlier, like I did these clips. But basically, he said 13 governments actively, the governments themselves, actively mining Bitcoin. Pretty soon, it's going to be all governments. Think of the decentralization when every government in the world is mining Bitcoin. Bullish as hell, man. Bullish. Oh, here's my video for those who didn't see it. Here's my contribution to Friday the 13th. Well, because you can add trending beats and stuff. Really cool, man. I'm telling you, TikTok kicks ass, even though I made fun of it forever. People have told me, David Gockstein told me, BitBoy told me back in the day, Windio, that TikTok, their algorithm just kicks ass, you know. Better leave this on a happy. There we go. So anyway, a happy Jason there. Wishing you a happy Friday the 13th. Okay, we'll do a couple more things. We'll take a last peek at the market. Polymarket traders now give a 68% chance that Bitcoin will hit 6K before 80K. Some people are at the bottom. Other people think it's the 2-week moving average, which is around 58,000 right now, 59,000. Some people think it's 48. The next Fibonacci, you know, level down there. I don't know. Some people think it's in the 30s and 20s. We don't know. Anything's possible. A lot of people think the bottom's in. I don't know. But right now, smart money is saying that more people think that we're going to, 2/3 of the people, actually, 2/3 of the people, use my math skills there, 68%. So slightly more than 2/3 of the people believe that we'll hit 60 before 80. And we might, you know, we almost hit it once. So possible. Don't put your head in your sand, but don't worry if you're holding for the long haul, your dollar cost averaging, that's okay. Don't let it scare you. It's typical. And then last but not least on the news here, financial giant BlackRock reveals institutions, sovereigns, and banks are buying the Bitcoin. Okay. Big, like I've said, if there's a theme today, it's Denmark, California stupid. Okay, that's one narrative. The other one is, and also CPI looking good. Government shutdown's probably not going to happen. So we got a little positive going to the weekend. The third thing I would say is smart money, whales, institutions, banks, countries buying the dip. So hopefully you're doing what the smart money's doing. Let's take a last look here and we'll wrap this up, man. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I appreciate it. Looks like we're getting a little more love over there on X. Look like it's work on YouTube. Pretty new to YouTube. I don't have that many followers. Let's see people watching the live. And then I upload it. It takes me a while to see people over there on the live. Appreciate it. We're here every day trying to tell you what happened, trying to save you time, right? What I've done for the last 4 or 5 hours, kind of recap a little bit of my experience in crypto and, 40 plus years investing in the markets. But basically tell you what's happening. So, okay, that's cool. I'm showing the thumbnail over there. So anyway, cool stuff. Let's refresh this just to see where we're at. We'll kind of leave you with this today and then talk about the same stuff. See, I have co-hosts and people who come talk, but we'll see how the market's doing. We were about flat. Let's see if now we've been open for almost, we're looking at still about flat. I call that flat. NASDAQ down 0.04. Let's look at the Dow. Gold still up 1.48%. That to a little rebound in gold, probably in silver as well. I did see that. The Dow, same thing, about flat, 49,420. A week ago, we hit 50 for the first time, got it to about 55, held it all the way through, I believe, yesterday morning. So I'd like to see us get back up there. A little bit of a correction, but down 0.05. That's about as flat as you can get. And we'll see how this chart pulls up. But now it's showing zeroed out. for our S&P here. Yeah, flat as it can get. Now, a lot can change. Like I say, the market's only been open for 27 minutes. Down 0.19. Last look on crypto. And we'll wish you guys well for the rest of the day. And you, man, hope you can get out there and touch grass. Bitcoin, 67,729. We're up flat for the day and up 0.5. So I'd say that's positive. We're doing a little better than the market. 1989. Party like it's 99. Sorry, I knew there was a Prince song in there somewhere. I remember movie lines like I'm a machine, like I'm AI. Graphic memory when it comes to songs and concerts and singers, I can't remember anything. 1989, up 0.4 for the day, 0.8 for the hour. XRP, man, Brad Garlinghouse on the CFTC commission here. 0.2 for the day, up 0.4 for the hour, $1.38.6. Shout out to the XRP army out there. I got to start talking XRP if I'm going to stream to TikTok. They'll throw me out over there. People are going to say, love that XR, love their XRP over there. Ran into a buddy yesterday, dropped, what do you have, 200K in XRP? Really cool dude. See him at the gym every day. Yeah, he's got a bunch of XRP. I told him, don't worry, it'll come back. He got a little, got caught into the hype and bought a lot, but he has a lot of money, so he'll be fine. But yeah, a couple $100,000 in XRP. Now listen, I posted this, didn't get much attention, but at least on, but look, about a month or two ago, a friend came to me and had $250,000, wanted to buy XRP with it because he'd been buying into the hype. Doesn't own any crypto, any Bitcoin. I told him, put 25 to 50,000 XRP, the rest in Bitcoin. So let me know in the chat what you think about that. I think that was good advice. Don't own any Bitcoin. He has a lot of money. If he already owned $1 million, then hey, do what you want. Knock yourself out. But a lot of hype out there. Solana, 81.27, 0 for the day, 1.1% for the hour. We're going to go out on that. See TikTok's, not TikTok. X seems to be working, man. And so I'm hoping it saves and you guys can be there. And I hope they got their stuff together. Shout out to my friends on Rumble. If there is any, because I don't think I even have any followers on Rumble, but I'm getting a few followers over there on YouTube. So appreciate you guys. Coming soon to TikTok as well. Live stream theirs are different. You can't record them. But David Gockstein, man, he says he gets more hits and everything. And he's huge. You guys know here that have been hanging. He's been in our community for a long time. Big guy out in the space, and he kills it with his live stream. Tens of thousands of people. He gets even more on TikTok. But on TikTok, you can't. So it's just you catch it or you don't. So anyway, shout out to everyone. Have a great weekend. If we can keep these levels, especially through Monday morning, I'll be happy. Hopefully we avoid the government shutdown. You guys have a great week. Jump on my space if you want. GM Bitcoin Morning Show starting right now. And everyone have a great week.